Norman Whiteside then becomes the fourth captain appointed by Billy Bingham, and he returns to another experimental midfield, which Bingham clearly sees as the major remaining problem. Michael O'Neill of Newcastle will make his home debut on the left side of that midfield. Stephen Penney is back on the right after a year out through injury. It's a familiar enough formation for Bingham, and with the possible exception of O'Neill, the names are getting pretty familiar too. I'm not so sure the Polish names are bandied about with the same ease down the Sandy Row Rangers Club of a Friday night. There they are. The one exception, of course, Ziggy Boniek, in his day one of the world's great attacking midfielders, although he's listed at number 3, and the management claim that he'll play as a central defender. We shall see. Tonight's officials come from Wales, the referee Rodger Gifford with the beard, and it's to be Poland to kick off in the all-red script playing from right to left this evening. Great week of sport then in Belfast. We've already had the Brazilian schools team here on Monday night. We've got Dave Boy Macaulay fighting for a world title on Saturday. And now we've got one of the great teams of European football here this evening, a team who've qualified for every World Cup since 1974. This, of course, part of the build-up for Italy 1990. And here's the new captain of Northern Ireland, Norman Whiteside. And that's a fine pass. And some chances from Northern Ireland here as Michael O'Neill wins a free kick on the edge of the box. Michael O'Neill, last time he was here playing for Coleraine against Linfield. Here he is now, a regular partner of Mirandinha in the Football League, playing his soccer with Newcastle and winning his second cap for Northern Ireland tonight. Nigel Worthington at left back this evening. Free kick aimed towards Whiteside and falling to Wilson, and that's a fine shot, and what a goal! Danny Wilson with his first goal for Northern Ireland with just 1 minute of the match gone. Instinctive shot, very confident piece of play indeed. And he's one of the players who qualified through the maternal rule to play for his country. Not born here, but his mother was. But taking to this match all right, on the right foot. Tremendously powerful volley. And Danny Wilson becomes the first player who qualifies through his mother's place of birth to score a goal for Northern Ireland. Fantastic start, and that's encouraged the crowd as Krosecki came in there on Alan McKnight. And the need perhaps for Northern Ireland just to cool it down after that fabulous start. Well, a fantastic shot by Danny Wilson. Whiteside went up to challenge. The defender got it clear. And there was Wilson. He knew exactly what he wanted to do, and it was a perfect finish. Colin Clarke. And Vuvcek back to Wandzik, the goalkeeper. Indeed, one-touch football now by Poland. Krosecki right the way through. Urban, very good save by Alan McKnight. Only got the one hand to it, but that was enough with Fleming there to tidy up for him. And the first signs of Poland's ability. A four-pass move, all one-touch football, very quick and very effective. This is Worthington now for Northern Ireland. Michael O'Neill. Worthington has Whiteside. That's for Worthington again. Clarke's wide, but Penney's in the middle. Whiteside. All the way across, and just too long for Jimmy Quinn to keep in. It must have taken a deflection, but here's the Poland attack from just a minute ago. Krosecki getting through to the byline, pulling it back for his captain Urban, left foot shot, and McKnight almost going the wrong way and doing well to keep it out. Dziekanowski, and free kick allowed to be taken a few yards forward, and splendid tackle by Colin Clarke. And now it's Wilson, very busy little player in the middle of the field. He's quite a find for Northern Ireland. Quinn against Wandzik. Quinn penalised, but Wandzik at least be aware of his presence. is Nigel Worthington. Jobber. Strong tackle by McDonald. Wandzik. Free kick against Nigel Worthington, who's proving a very versatile player for Billy Bingham's plans. Left-sided, of course, but equally at home, really, in the midfield or at left-back, where he is today, with Donaghy switching into the middle of the defence. This is Boniek. Campbell. Koszecki. Nitsky. Worthington back to help Donaghy. And that's forward. And there could be a break on here with Colin Clarke. Penney's gone down the middle. That's for him. He's got Quinn well out to his left. It's a long chase for Jimmy Quinn. Just too long. Jimmy Quinn, who scored last time out here, the final European Championship match, which was against Turkey. Quinn got the only goal of the game. This is Worthington. Now Wilson. Clarke. Harashevich. Long ball. Koszecki. 2 and now 3 in the middle. And it went all the way through to Jobber. And he could have done a lot more with that. Just a question over the Northern Irish defence there, because there were 3 back and they let it pass them all by, and they were through the far post for Poland. O'Neill with a nice touch. Worthington. Quinn. Whiteside. Worthington. Not the most confident of clearances. This is Penney. Quinn's there if it reaches him, which it does eventually, but after the referee blew his whistle. Boniek. Wandzik. Dziekanowski. Boniek. And Northern Ireland holding the midfield at the moment. McDonald beaten. Nitsky. And that's just a bit too close for comfort for Northern Ireland. Once again, the defence not looking quite as sharp as you might wish, with just this and the match against France next month coming before the World Cup campaign begins in earnest, with the home match against Malta in May. This time Lucasio penalised. Ireland Jimmy Quinn, free kick. Whiteside the captain. Worthington. O'Neill. Dziekanowski beaten by Wilson. Having a fine match, Danny Wilson. I might just fancy another one. Too short for Jimmy Quinn, the pass. Rogan. Past McDonald, and it's opening up for Jobber. Clear with McKnight to beat. Good body save. Excellent body save by Alan McKnight. Once again, Alan McDonald, it must be said, was beaten. Whiteside couldn't get back to him. Jobber found himself clear. McKnight cutting the angle, getting down well to block with the body. Wojciech. Boniek. McDonald. Wilson again with an important tackle. He's got his free kick. Michael O'Neill again showing great confidence. 19 years of age in his first season of professional football in England. Billy Bingham took him off in his debut away to Greece because he felt that it was perhaps just a little bit too much for him, but he's not showing any signs of being overawed at Windsor Park this evening. Penney couldn't quite. Good tackle by Alan McDonald. Shevich. The turn by Clarke, and the free kick against Wojciech. So Northern Ireland coming forward again. This is Worthington. He has O'Neill outside him, and Whiteside's also in close support. Here's Whiteside. O'Neill. Danny Wilson. Whiteside. Rode the tackle. He's looking for Clarke. Not that far away. And Poland still have to play themselves out of trouble, which they've failed to do. This is Penney. Now Wilson. Always available, Danny Wilson. Donaghy. McDonald. It's Fleming's. Good strong tackle by Wilson. Now Clarke. And he's seen Quinn was forward, and it took a good punch by Wandzik to clear the lines. This is O'Neill, so just a little bit too much to Ziggy Boniek. Probably the first mistake he's made all match, Michael O'Neill. Quinn's there again, and he's got a head to it, and now a foot, and off the line as the challenge came in from Colin Clarke. So O'Neill, deep cross. Jimmy Quinn got there and found he'd beaten the two defenders, and it was Kubicki, in fact, who put it away, as both goalkeeper and Clarke challenged. It's Fleming back in. Northern Ireland are onside. It's Quinn still onside. Clarke was there. Here's Penney. Dziekanowski, Rogan. Alan McDonald certainly looks as if he's played himself into the match after Slightly shaky start. It's not just what we expect of him. Komarnitsky, and he takes a corner off Nigel Worthington. So 6 forward for Poland. That was Clarke against Lukashiel. That counts for naught. The free kick for Northern Ireland. Worthington, Quinn, seen Wilson, 2 forward, putting Penney wide on the right. This is Penney, now they're queuing up. Good tackle by Wojciech. Colin, Clarke and Jimmy Quinn were both in the middle, waiting for that one. Mild Donaghy with half an hour gone, Northern Ireland leading by 1-0. The goal scorer Danny Wilson, the time just 1 minute. Great start by Northern Ireland. They were looking as if they're not that far away from finding a formation. But they don't need too many injuries, and that's the sort of challenge that could put somebody out of the match. This is Worthington. Wandzik came. That was a good decision. This is Boniek. Under pressure from Whiteside. Northern Ireland still tending to dominate the middle of the park, which is where the big problems have been of late. Dziekanowski. Oh, what a good goal. Dariusz Dziekanowski, one of the very experienced players in the squad, on the left foot, low drive, and a perfect finish. Just had a yard or two to bring himself in, but a superb shot, and McKnight beaten all the way into the corner. Thought he might have been penalised for holding Jimmy Quinn, but not the case. Jobber. Urban. Dziekanowski. Urban. Wilson back there fighting the whole time. I think he was unlucky to be penalised. Came in from the back, but I think he got the ball first. However, referee disagrees. It's a free kick. A couple of minutes to go to half-time. 1-1 the score, remember. And we've already seen that the number 10, Dziekanowski, has a good left foot on him. He's over the ball. 4-man wall there for Northern Ireland. 4 over the ball. Urban looks as if he's going to touch it. And it's Wojciech, and it took a deflection. Wojciech, number 4, the left back in this Polish side. Goes Quinn, up goes Lukashiel. Goes the referee's hand to signal the free kick against Jimmy Quinn. Urban did not keep it in. Northern Ireland's throw. It's Donaghy, and that's very short. And McKnight reacting quickly. One minute to go to half-time. 1-1 the score. This is Fleming looking for Penney. And Northern Ireland have the throw. Whiteside's available. Holding it, Wilson. Space on the left, Donaghy, and he has Worthington wide. Worthington will throw one in. Cashiel out strongly. It's McDonald. Penney. Could run all the way to Worthington on the far side. He's got O'Neill, who's dropped back short for support. This is O'Neill. Far side, Jimmy Quinn looking for Penney, and Cashiel was there. Jobber for Poland. Lost it on the bubble, and the 45 minutes are up. Now this is the moment when Mal Donaghy sold Ellen McKnight a little short, but McKnight out well and covered well with his body. That's the end of the first half then, and the teams are going in tied at 1 goal each. Some very good things from Northern Ireland in the first half, and perhaps from the least expected areas, in that midfield is the problem he's working on, and it seems to be working the best. Certainly the man of the first half there, Danny Wilson, scored the goal after a minute and put in 45 minutes of very good effort. Michael O'Neill's played well down the left, but there are those question marks over the defence.
And we'll be back for second half action very shortly. Jackie Cummings has been watching the match with me. Jackie, we don't get too many goals at international level these days, but what a start inside the first minute, and Danny Wilson, you couldn't really have had a better start.
No, brilliant start, and what a goal it was. I mean, as you say, we don't get many, but that one will be remembered for a long, long time. I mean, he hit it on the full volley, and I reckon it was about 25 yards out. It just screamed into the top of the net. Doesn't matter who the goalkeeper. I think big Pat Jennings wouldn't even have gotten near that one.
They would have taken a couple of goalkeepers, I think. I'm wondering what we should have been doing then, though. Was there anything we could have done after that to consolidate that? We seemed almost... We didn't go backwards, but we didn't push as many men forward, maybe, as we should have done.
Well, I think that goal upset the plan. You know, you don't expect to get a goal in the first minute, so they couldn't follow on with their plan. But in fairness to the Poles now, they started to come forward, and the three front men were very, very dangerous. The captain, Urban, was a very good player, and they were getting space down the left wing. In fact, the left winger got past Mal Donaghy on the outside and almost set a goal up very, very early on. So they showed even then that they had the class, but also that they came back very well. I mean, a lot of teams, if you get a goal against them at the first minute, start to panic and do things, but they kept it steady, and gradually I think they got control in that first half.
Their goal was a good one as well, wasn't it? And from far out too.
Well, it was just not as far out as Wilson's, but I mean, it was a beautifully taken goal by Dziekanowski. A nice passing movement, a lovely build-up, slow passing. They took their time, and the Irish defence falling back all the time and inside the penalty area. And that's when the man struck. He came inside. His left foot shot was good. Mal Donaghy, I think, was the nearest player to him. He did try a sliding tackle, but he was just too far away. And then behind him, McDonald was there as well. And I think maybe Alan McKnight was slightly unsighted. He was near his left-hand post, and the stretch was too far over to the far side. He did make a valiant effort, but it was a beautiful shot.
But to be very harsh, perhaps, in our defence, Jackie, he did take the ball past two, almost three players, then had a clear shot at goal. Should he have been allowed to get that far?
Well, I was just going to say, at that stage, once you get near the end of the box, after falling back so much, somebody has to go for the player. He's about to take a shot. That's a dangerous position. Mal Donaghy did sense the danger, but he was too far away. They had retreated with all this short passing inside the box, and they were just too far away. And it was a great shot. Probably didn't expect it.
Little bit of a question mark on what we've seen so far in the first 45 minutes over that entire defence, in fact. Is that a fair comment?
Yes, I think it is. They were falling back and giving a little bit too much space to these three front men, and they were caught a little bit out of position. Now, perhaps Mal Donaghy, he did well, but he's not the centre half that John McClelland is.
All right, John McClelland, of course, not available tonight through injury. We'll see what we can do in the second half now. Let's go back for second half action to Windsor Park. One each at half-time, and the commentator is Michael Nesbitt.
For the record, Northern Ireland's record against Poland is perfect. They played twice in 1962 in the European Championship, and they won both matches by 2-0. Billy Bingham, in fact, scored in the match in Belfast. And also for your notes, there's one substitution on the Polish side for the second half. Karas is on, number 17. He's a midfielder, and the man who has gone off, Karasiewicz. who was wearing number 7. So Poland here to gain experience of what it's like to play against British sides, because they play England twice next year in their group of World Cup qualifying for Italy 1990. And indeed, within half an hour of the draw for the World Cup back in December, Billy Bingham said he'd like to play Poland because he reckoned they wouldn't be too dissimilar to Hungary, who Northern Ireland will face in their campaign. Poland and Hungary played together in the last European Championship, both finishing mid-table with 8 points each. Poland just shading out on goal difference. Here's Whiteside for Northern Ireland. It's Fleming. Didn't go out of play. Boniek. He's played his player into trouble. It's Whiteside. He's got Clarke to his left. Tried to go himself. It might fall for Penney. It will now. It's Wilson. Penney. And he had support behind from Fleming, but presumably wasn't aware of him. So we're going to see first substitution on the Northern Ireland side. Linesman signalling to the referee. And the linesmen on both sides are signalling to the referee. I think they'd like to make the substitution before the free kick is taken, and it's Michael O'Neill of Newcastle United who's being brought off. Billy Bingham is cautious with the young players, doesn't ask too much of them to begin with. And on comes Anton Rogan. Now, he is a full-back, but both full-backs are still on the pitch, so presumably he'll go into midfield position. That's Wilson, very deep. McDonald was there to challenge. And there, number 15, Anton Rogan. Settling into the role that Michael O'Neill has been playing so far in the match. So he's got about half an hour of midfield football to come. Kubicki. Oh, lost control of it altogether, Koszecki. And another substitution for Poland. Maybe a timely moment to say that the two managers have agreed to waive the 2 substitute rule. In fact, they've agreed to waive it in some measure too. It's usually 2 from 5, but today they both have 6 subs at the bench, and they've agreed they can use all 6 should they so wish. So this could be the start of something fairly big. We've got a sub on each side, and Poland about to use their second. Wilson. Northern Ireland losing their way just a touch as we go into the last half hour. Second substitution then for Poland. The man coming off is Józef, and the man coming on, Gifford, who is an out-and-out forward. So the manager, Wojciech Lazarek, obviously not using this as a practice defensive match. Gifford playing his football in Poland, and he'll adopt a striker's role. So if anything, the emphasis in the Polish side is more towards attack than it was at the beginning. This is Clarke, and that's out of play. Koszecki, younger blood, David Campbell, who's coming on, and it's Stephen Penney who's going off. So well, that's more or less a straight swap. Wide midfield player for a wide midfield player. David Campbell now playing with Charlton down at the bottom of the First Division. 22 years old and on for his 10th cap for Northern Ireland, and he's going to be straight into the action because he's going to take the corner. 20 minutes to make an impact on the match. That's how long there is to go. Campbell's corner then. Away by Boniek. Now Wilson. Campbell with another chance. Too close to the keeper. Nice touch by Fleming. McDonald still forward from the corner. Wilson. And the throw to Poland as the heavens open. And pretty shower is upon us at Windsor Park. Rogan's. Kubicki. Dziekanowski, the goal scorer. Still Dziekanowski. Rogan got in well. Familiar position for him at full-back there. Dziekanowski took it out of play. It's a throw to Northern Ireland. By Quinn, couldn't find Clarke though. A missed kick by Boniek. Wojciech. Wojciech again. Gifford against McDonald. Colin Clarke up front on his own. Quinn has dropped back somewhat into a midfield position on the left, temporarily at least. Fleming. Whiteside. Saw Rogan. And men forward. Confident play by Rogan and a nice touch to Whiteside. Fleming's free on the right-hand side. Campbell's ahead of him. This is Campbell. Clarke and Quinn are in the box. Wilson's joined them. Whiteside. Quinn. Urban. Karas. And again. Wojciech went on a run there, but he waited for Urban. Dziekanowski. Cashiel, the big central defender, well forward for once, an open play. Karas, Kubitsky against Worthington. Good enough for a corner. So fair to say Northern Ireland by no means in command of this match anymore as we go into the final quarter. Final quarter of an hour. The score still tied at 1-1. Five in the box. Karas's corner, driven low and away by McDonald. Illegal throw. Signalled by Rodger Gifford, referee from Wales, so Northern Ireland get the throw from the same position. Clarke looking for Quinn. Holding again, looking for Whiteside. Be a break on now for Poland. Karas. Nicely read by Gary Fleming. Covering but given away. Araskiewicz. Far side and a terrible, terrible miss for Poland. Well, Gary Fleming did the difficult things well. He came right across to cover on the left-back position, then gave it right away. And Dziekanowski, well, then he came, wanted it on the left foot, should have taken it on the right. Scored a great goal with his left foot in the first half. And certainly giving the impression there that he's a one-footed player, because if he'd hit it on the right, he must have had good chances of putting it away. A third substitution for Northern Ireland. Kevin Wilson of Chelsea is coming on to take the place of Jimmy Quinn of Swindon Town. Kevin Wilson, another who qualifies through the maternal ruling, was playing with Ipswich Town, now with Chelsea. Donaghy, Wilson, nice touch to Danny Wilson. Campbell's wide on the right. Fleming's coming to support him. Kevin Wilson, unlucky with his touch. Araskiewicz. Northern Ireland's throw in. Kevin Wilson has a fair bit of pace. Outside striker. Can play wide if requested. He's taking over the twin strikers role. Jimmy Quinn, partnering Colin Clarke. Oh, the mistake by Alan McDonald, an attempt at the professional foul. Well, that was a comedy of errors, all right. Dziekanowski again. He's got one. He could have had a hat-trick easily, but here's Colin Clarke for Northern Ireland. He's given it away now. He's been giving it back, lost it again. Well, I tell you what, it's exciting if it's not exactly good football. Ten minutes to go, it's still 1-1. Dziekanowski's just missed two very good chances. One because he couldn't hit it with his right foot, and the other because he couldn't keep his feet at all. This is Boniek. Urban. Past Whiteside. Dziekanowski. Again, wins it off Donaghy this time. And now Campbell wants it, Worthington wants it, and Northern Ireland have certainly lost their shape in the second half. This is Danny Wilson. Kevin Wilson's crying out for it. That took a deflection, I think. Now the referee's given a goal kick. Danny Wilson looks tired. He's certainly given everything so far in this match. Not just a goal, but plenty of commitment, plenty of ideas. But the shape around him isn't quite what Billy Bingham might want at the moment. Fleming, Donaghy. Pomeranditsky. It's turned by Fleming. McDonald. By Clarke, Rogan, and the throw to Poland. Cashiel is down hurt. Meantime, Poland are going to make their third substitution. Chisek is going to come on. Cashiel, who's had a very fine match at the centre of the defence, particularly taking on both Jimmy Quinn and perhaps more particularly Colin Clarke in the air. This is Chisek, who's a defender. So Chisek on. Dziekanowski, the man who got one goal and could have had a hatful more. Boniek into the position he's more used to, the midfield, and that's a superb ball, and this could be trouble. Good save by McKnight. Came out well, saw Fleming was beaten. Gary Fleming to bring it forward. Clarke against Cashiel. Haven't got too much change out of the big man this evening. Whiteside, Rogan, and indeed it came off Rogan, so it's a throw to Poland. I would imagine Poland would be more than happy to come away from Windsor Park with a draw, if that's how it turns out, particularly after the way things were shaping up in the first quarter of an hour. Cashiel. Vuvcek. Boniek. Fleming's header. Riskiewicz. Whiteside, nice turn. Danny Wilson, Kevin Wilson. Oh, just let it run away from him too much. There's an opportunity there. It's well controlled by Campbell. Donaghy. Whiteside was looking for Clarke. He's gone for the throw for Northern Ireland. Time running out if they're going to win this match. A little over a minute of normal time left. Don't imagine there'll be too much added on by the referee. Rogan. Yes, still Rogan. Whiteside. Looking for Kevin Wilson. He stood back, and that's a dreadful attempt at a clearance. Rogan's in again. Nitsky lets it run. It's another throw inside the last minute. Worthington looking for Kevin Wilson. Worthington and Rogan got the throw. Whiteside's in. Worthington's there. Rogan's behind him if he needs him. Other band to bring it away from Poland. Worthington and Rogan have now swapped roles, and it's Worthington who's playing up in midfield. Normal time now up. So a good start from Northern Ireland in this match, and not just in terms of the goal after a minute, but good things in the first half, particularly from the midfield. Question marks over the defence, of course, but you must remember John McClellan wasn't fit or available, so it wasn't the first choice. But there, for my money anyway, the man of the match, Danny Wilson, 90 minutes of effort and the goal after just 1 minute of the match, which means Northern Ireland have still only lost once at home to a European team. The final score once again, Northern Ireland 1, Poland 1.